Hi guys, this will be a quick video showing us that I think the companies are really not being truthful with how much weight of a product that they've got. Okay, I've found this to be the case with tuna products. Okay, these are the two tuna cans that I've got at the moment, and I'll weigh them just to highlight this issue. So, but first and foremost, I'm just going to switch the scales on just so that I show you that the scales are accurate. So this basically says we've got a packet of lentils and it should be 1 kilogram. So let me pop that on there. Okay, and it says we've got 1 kilogram and 5 grams. Okay, 5 grams could be the packaging on its own, obviously without the content, so that's fine, that's acceptable. Okay, I mean, it says it's 1 kilogram, it's actually over that by a little bit. So it could be the packaging, or it could be that they've just put a little bit of lentils to make sure that it is 1 kilogram at least in the packaging, which is what all companies should do. And it just goes to show that the scales are accurate. I'm going to do the same thing really with that packet of almonds. Okay, at the back of it, it says 200 grams. Let's see what this shows us. Okay, 209. So again, 9 grams could be the packaging on its own without the contents, or it could be that they've added a few more almonds to make sure that yeah, effectively the product is yeah, at least 200 grams. So basically what we've got here is 145 grams, okay, with the brine in, okay, and effectively if I was to drain it, it should be 102 grams, okay, 102 grams, okay. And I'll just go ahead and open this. So I'm just going to pause the video, get the can opener. All right, I've got the can opener out. I'm just going to go ahead and drain that. Okay, I'll leave that to the side, and then I'll do the same with the other one. All right. There we go, and effectively I'll drain them nicely just by squeezing this. Okay. Okay, nicely done. And we'll weigh them again just to see how much the contents of it weighs. All right, so let me go ahead and weigh this and see if the companies are being truthful with us, really. So yeah, let's take that over. Okay, and I'm gonna switch this on again. Okay, let me put this on and see how much it weighs. 122, 121. Okay, now it says it should weigh 102, right? So I'm thinking, okay, it's probably the can giving us the extra weight. Well, I'm going to get a container out and see what that shows us. All right, so we've got ourselves a nice container. All right, I'll put the container on. All right, I will taper this to make sure it's 0 again, and I'll pour the contents of the can into the bowl and see whether it's 102 grams as it says there. Oh, come on, why are you so blurry? There we go, 102. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. All right, so I've got us a nice spoon, right? So I'll go ahead and do it. All right. It is a bit tricky doing this on my own, but okay. Trying to make sure. Okay, there's the full can with the tuna. I'm just going to tip it in. Let me just switch the scales on. Okay. And I'm basically tipping it in. Okay. Let's see what this will show us. All right, I got pretty much everything out, right? I'm sure you'll agree I've got everything out. Now, let me show you what the scales are showing, all right? 87 grams, 87 grams. So if you actually think you're eating 102 grams, okay, you are wrong, okay? And it doesn't make sense. Why are the companies putting, okay, let's say this needs to be 100 grams, right? And this is showing us 86 grams. Well, that basically says we are, okay, 87 grams, 86 grams. Yeah, so that's showing us we're 14 grams less, 14 grams less. I mean, that's 14% less effectively than what we should actually have in the can. And I've just, I opened up the other can and I'm just going to weigh it as well. Hopefully this will be easier. Grab the other can. The other can is showing us again 102 grams. It should be the weight drained. So let's see whether this shows us 86 or more or less, or whether it actually shows us 102, which I doubt, because like I said, I've done this so many times and it was frustrating for me. That's why I thought, you know what, I'm going to film this just so that anyone else who's actually thinking they're consuming 100 grams per can of tuna is not true. And I've done this with numerous brands of tuna, okay, from different shops. I'm not blaming this shop specifically, okay? So, yeah, let me go ahead and open this one up. All right, there we are. I've got it here. And I am going to just tip it in. I'm just trying to film everything just in case somebody doesn't say, oh no, you've actually. So I'm just switching the scales on. I'm opening it up and I'm tipping everything in. Okay. All right. Let's see what this shows us. Okay. And again, I've scooped up everything, guys. All right. I've scooped up everything. Okay. Now you might say, oh, look, there's a little piece of tuna there. Yeah, but is that going to really make the difference? Is that 14 grams? No, it's not. So, and let's have a look. Oh, 87 grams again, 86. So isn't that the case we had last time? Okay, 86 grams or 87 grams. So that's showing me these cans of tuna are saying that we should be consuming 100 grams of stuff. Okay, and then if you're really doing your macros and you're trying to, stay nice and healthy, or you're counting your calories, on here it says per 100 grams, you should be getting 24.9 grams of protein per can, all right? If obviously the can really contains 100 grams of tuna, but in fact it contains 86 grams of tuna. So really you're not getting 24.9 grams of protein, are you? Okay. And again, why are the companies doing that? I mean, if it says 102, make sure it's 102, okay? Or a little bit above 102, as we've seen the case to be with the lentils, as we've seen the case to be with the almonds, okay? It's not the scales. You do that test at home, guys. I just wanted to inform you, educate you, just so that you're making the right decisions, because I personally think this is this is the companies not being honest with us. I mean, if you say you're going to have 100 grams of the product in there, make sure you have at least 100 grams of the product, or 102 grams of the product. Okay, I've drained it. It's not 102. It's 13 or 14 grams less. That's 13 to 14% less of the content you've told us. All right. So there you go, guys. I hope this video helps you, and yeah, take care. Speak to you soon, guys.